Wow. What if the same skills you learned in primary school were the key to growing your business online? Be nice, say hello, share your lunch. It's the basics. Don't be nasty. Don't ignore people and make everyone feel welcome. As kids, making friends took effort. Sometimes it felt easy and other times it felt impossible. The same is true as adults when we grow our brand online. Today, we're going to be breaking down the basics of engaging online and building an audience that not only finds you, but sticks with you. I've been diving into this myself, and honestly, some of it is new to me too. But here's the good news: networking doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's not about cold DMs or pitching to strangers. It's all about showing up, building relationships, and working your connections in a way that feels natural and right for you. So, welcome to our weekly Mum with a Side Hustle live call. I'm Alicia Searley, and I'm so stoked you've joined us. And I have a passion for being a mum and doing business. So, a big hello to all our courageous mums smashing it in motherhood and business. Thanks for joining us on this Zoom in the Zoom room. Jade is here with us. And for those watching on Facebook now or later, or YouTube now or later, welcome. It's so great to have you. If you're here, drop a comment and say hi. Your input really shapes these videos, so they truly support you in your side hustle. So please don't be shy. Let's make this a space where we all learn, grow, and rise together. Okay, I've got a little question. I know Jade's trying to put her baby to sleep, so she may not answer. But what's one positive word about how your brand building is going? And I'm going to try and keep track of the comments. So if you're watching us live, drop a comment. What is one positive word about how your brand building is going? So Jade, if you've got a positive word, share with us. I'd love, oh, she's got one. Progressing. Awesome. Cool. When I wrote this, I was like, one word about how your brand building is going. Then I was like, oh, hold on. Then we can get all like the negative vibes. So yeah, one word about how positive word. So that's awesome, Jade. Progressing. Cool. Okay, wow. I really had a think today about whether I was going to go back and recap a bunch of the content we've been learning, or push on. And I decided the most important thing was to push on because you can always go back. Please do go back and have a look at the previous posts, have a look at the previous live calls. I've been trying to group them in the Facebook group. If you're not in our Facebook group, please, there's a link below in the description. Why don't you join us in our Facebook community? But today I want to talk about the power of networking and engaging your audience. So we're going to have three discussions here, and this is number one, understanding the power of networking. So we really need to dive into why. So let's go back to primary school, and think about how you made friends. It was all about the small interactions. Okay, so you sit next to someone in class, you share your snacks, or you play at lunch together. That's how relationships are formed. Social media is very, very similar. Okay, so networking isn't about putting your pitch out, it's actually about building natural connections that help your brand grow. And I think when I was reflecting on all that I learned this week about this topic, I realized for me there's been a little bit of a gap because I know I have to comment on posts to get my posts to come up on the algorithm for other people, especially on Facebook. But it is a two-way street. It's a relationship that you're building. And so you don't want to just be a taker or just all about you. And so today's points are really, really valuable to help you think about how to connect with others, how to add value to them, and how to build normal relationships. I think sometimes we get online and we like lose our brain. And why is that? The keyboard warrior totally isn't a person anymore. So this matters. Jade's sending a laughing emoji. Um, okay, so networking matters because the more connections we build, the easier it is to grow. Just like in school, when you know more people, there's more people to play with at lunchtime. And I know some of us struggled at primary school. I definitely did not have friends all the time. And if that one friend that you loved was not there, who are you going to hang out with? So on social media, like you're going to need more than one friend, guys. And you're going to have to up your friendship skills if you are lacking in this area. It's actually something I've considered making a course about, but I did a little
market research and no one wanted it. So I do think a lot of people need help with making friends. And I am pretty passionate about making friends, being a good friend, etc., etc. So here is my social media pitch about being a good friend. When people feel connected to you, they'll support you. They'll share your content and they'll engage with your content. And it's really exciting to me seeing this happen with Mum with a Side Hustle stuff. So think about it. How many times have you purchased something from someone simply because your friend recommended it? Like heaps. Like I always go to my friends, which dishwasher did you buy? One of my friends, like she's a real great researcher. So I ask her, or if I like her dishwasher, I ask her, or how many times have you said, where do you go to the hairdresser? It's very simple, right? So we want to have that powerful connection. Just like, your classmate was telling you in primary school about the coolest sticker collection. We're so influenced by one another. And so we need to build those relationships. So I've got another question for us. Who's someone you've discovered through a friend's recommendation? So, Jade, since you are still there, maybe you can type in the chat, who's someone you've discovered through a friend's recommendation? And hopefully, someone has discovered you and me through a friend's recommendation. Okay, so our key takeaway here is if we're not networking and engaging, we're missing out on one of our easiest and most natural ways to grow. So, just like making friends in primary school, it starts with small intentional interactions. And what I really recommend is just taking some time to sit and think about this. Think about who you want to be and who you want to show up as on social media. Think about how do you want to be known? And it's not going to be just by how you post. I have a friend who I follow, and they do an amazing job with their social media. And I love that they either heart or comment still after 5 years on every single comment on their posts. Crazy, right? And I think it just builds so much trust and it makes people want to interact with you when they get a response. So, yeah, take some time to think about who you want to be, how you want to show up on social media, and make this important to you. If it's not important yet, make it important by thinking about it. Remember, I've talked about thinking is our superpower. So take some time and think about how you want to show up on social media. And then I've got some tips coming up right now. Okay, so number two is here's some practical strategies. Okay, so we're going to be really practical. I want strategies. You want strategies. We're mums. We don't have a lot of time. So tell us how to do it and tell us how we can make it work. So think about this. You're posting, it's early days. You've been working on engagement posts. Remember, there were the four types of posts. And so you're working on your engagement posts. Remember, they were, can I remember them? Personal, engagement, value, and your offer. I think that's the exact, I think that was right. Um, Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. So engagement posts are the ones where you ask a question or you try and get feedback from someone or you do a poll. You want to have those engagement posts, but early on, some of them they might be getting crickets. And mine are like that too. Like it's not like uh, yeah, it's not like people interact with you all the time, especially when you're early on. So should we keep posting? Should we keep doing that? Is it going to change? Does it mean we're getting it wrong if no one replies or one person replies, or is it just a matter of time till something shifts? And I had this last week. I had a engagement post I put out, and obviously it resonated really strongly with my audience, and I got heaps of replies, and that was awesome. But some of the other ones I put out this week haven't done that, and so. I'm just going to keep going. I've got a plan, I've got a method to the madness, and you guys can watch and see if it works, and then you can try it for yourselves. So, here's some simple ways of building connection and engagement every single week. And yes, this is also going to be on top of your posting. So, I'm probably going to do a call in the future about really what a week looks like, what you need to be doing in a week. It is just pretty simple. It is posting and engaging. It really is your weekly thing. We've done a whole lot of work on building your brand, on knowing who your audience is, knowing what you have uniquely to offer, getting some brand style going. That's great, but you only need to do that once and maybe revisit it. This you need to do all the time. I'll do a breakdown, but you need to have regularly a system for posting. You need to have some great ideas that you've been working on, and you need to also be engaging. Okay. And I get really excited talking about this because until I started researching, I didn't realize there was like a whole piece of my grand plan, which is building a personal brand in a year and 3 hours a week, that was totally missing. Okay, so here we go. 3 simple ways to build connections and engagement. Number one. Respond to comments and messages with intention. So if someone comments on your post, don't just say thanks. Or the worst is when you don't reply at all. Like if they reply and you don't heart it or you don't do anything, that's the worst idea. So the best idea is to reply. If all you're going to do is say thanks, that's a good start. Always like it, heart it, give an emoji. Um, do something because it brings your post up to the top of the feed if you've interacted and other people can see that. And the trick is to use a follow-up question to invite them into conversation. And I'm learning this and I've been trying it. It's going okay. I think I can get better. So if someone says to you, I love this post, right? You do a post and they do like a love heart, or I have people who drop gifts or things like that, which is really cool. Instead of just liking it, you can respond with thank you. What part of it resonated most with you? Okay, so you're getting them to comment back. I've got a whole bunch of ideas here. You could say something like, that's awesome. Do you do this often? It really depends on what you've posted about. Right. What's been your experience with this? You can ask people for their advice, like, what would you do in my situation? If you've shared a personal story. Jade, I'd love to hear any suggestions you have for engaging with posts. Another one is you could say, I really appreciate that. Like, what's been your biggest win recently? So even though it's in a public sphere, just asking them, what's going well for them is a really great way of interacting and just like normal, right? Like if you were standing in a room with someone and someone gave you like a compliment, you wouldn't be like, thanks. It'd be so awkward. You'd probably compliment them back especially if you were Kiwi, you'd be complimenting them back. But yeah, you need to say something back. They've got like one last one here. That means a lot to me. What's something that makes you feel amazing as a mum? Okay, Jade, she's put her camera on. She's got a serious piece of advice to give us. Jade, what have you got for us, my
Oh no, I don't. But I was just um, loving and agreeing your suggestions because I don't always comment back to people, but I need to get better at doing it.
I think because it's
Yeah,
not really
yeah.
talked about a
Or
lot.
even asking like what they do,
Yeah.
you know, to get tips from them, to learn from them as well if you've shared something.
Do you think some of us have got
Yeah.
not so good at this because we don't interact in person as much? Like with new people? Like how often do we put ourselves in situations with people we don't know and have to start conversation?
Hmm. I've just done that recently,
Running club.
but but not as often.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't think we do it as nearly as often. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And especially as a
I think
stay-at-home
when you're
mum.
doing it online,
Yeah.
um, I don't know, it's just a little bit different.
Do you have anyone who interacts with your posts that you appreciate, or like anyone that you've watched do this on their posts?
Probably, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
What's that thing behind you? I want to see what it says.
Oh, it's a skateboard.
Oh, cool.
And it's got a quote, and it says, "I promise that someday I'll buy you a place where you can say nice view, and I'll agree while staring at you."
That's so cool. That's like your guys' vision, like right in front of you above your bed.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
That's so
So I
cool.
got it for Corey.
Oh,
I thought
cool.
it was really cool.
Cool. Okay.
I did
So,
have flowers there, but sorry, I've just distracted.
no,
But
it's
it
good.
did look a lot nicer. But yeah, we just Rune's listening.
I can show you my
We're
room.
going to sleep.
We will do rooms, okay? Oh, there we go. There's my bed. It's tidy-ish.
It is tidy.
I
I
love
like your duvet,
everything.
like the white duvet cover.
That's because it doesn't have a duvet cover over it because we had a incident in the middle of the night with one of the children.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it needs its cover back on it. Okay, oh man, focus. Okay, number one, respond to comments and messages with intention. Number two, tips. These are our
Mm.
tips, right? Share other people's content, but in a way that adds value. Okay, so in school, we didn't just copy each other's tricks. We tried to add something to it, get our own spin on it, get known for something. So the same as with like this when we want to share content. We want to be sharing content from people in our niche or people who are what they have resonates with us. It's part of our messaging. And generally, you'll know what that is. You'll see a post and you'll be like, oh, I love that. So, try not to share things that are completely outside of what you're about. Like maybe cooking videos might not work for mum with a side hustle because they're all about cooking, but like inspiring stories or people who have courage, that sort of stuff. I'm actually just started reading the second Bear Grylls book. What's the word? Autobiography. And for me, I'm like, oh, this book really is uh, on the right level of what I want to talk to because he has so much courage, he takes so many risks, he does all these amazing things. So that's the sort of thing. If I was following Bear Grylls, I don't know, maybe I can go find him now. Maybe some of his posts would be helpful. So you do want to share other people's posts, but you don't want to share heaps of them because of course you need to stick with your own and be on brand with your own. So maybe like 20 to 30% of your posts. So think about that. If I was posting 3 times a week, it'd take me 3 weeks to get to 9 posts. So maybe I could do 2 shares in 3 weeks. So just think about that. And you want to be doing 70 to 80% of your own posts. Yeah, and then when you share, this is how you do it, right? So you say, this post by my friend Jade is gold. I found that, and you give an insight makes a difference too. And actually, Jade, you did share a really lovely post on your stay-at-home entrepreneurs page about fun with a side hustle, and I was really thankful. And I wanted to do one back for you, but I haven't done that. So now I really have a good reason to do that. Jade has an awesome Facebook page called Stay at Home Entrepreneurs with the mum crossed out. Stay at Home Mumtrepreneurs or Entrepreneurs. So yeah, you should check that out. Jade can drop it in the comments when she remembers on this Facebook video. Okay, so you're sharing someone's content. This post by such and such is gold. I found that it helps me with being courageous, etc. And then you could ask a thoughtful question like, "This tip is great. Have you tried it? Does it work for you?" So then you're kind of creating an interactive post out of someone else's post. Cool, eh? And then people can comment on it. You could also expand on their idea, like, I love this post because, and then you could add on like another thing that helped me was, and then you could do that as well. And those two last things are really other good ways to add value. If you are following someone else's page, which we're going to talk about in just a second, interacting with their posts and adding value to them is really beautiful and essential as well. We want to be adding value to other people's things, just like you want people to add value to you. Every comment I get is such a treasure to me. So I want to be that person and show up for other people. And look, I'll give you a little tip. This is my little tip. I know we talk about AI tools a lot, but sometimes I see a post, I love it, but my mind is blank about how I'm going to respond or how I'm going to add value to that person. So I just put the post in ChatGPT and I say, give me a way to respond. And I don't copy and paste it, but I love the ideas it comes out with. And I feel like over time it's helping me bank how to respond and add value to other people. This is how I use AI tools, is I use them to teach me skills that I don't have. Thank you, Jade. I love that. She just said great idea in the chat. Just jumping over to Facebook to see if anybody's leaving comments. I'm so sorry. I often miss them. Okay, so here's some ideas for following and engaging with relevant accounts. So Instagram and TikTok, you're going to want to find mums and business if for me, I want to find mums in business. I want to comment on their posts and share their content in my stories. So I found this amazing page the other night. It just popped up and I loved it. It's a mum. I think she lives in Waipu, which is kind of north of Auckland, and she has a little knitting shop, and she also has this Instagram account and sells like beginners knitting stuff. She's all about merino wool, and she makes the funniest videos. And I spent, a few minutes, actually it was probably more like 30 minutes by the time I stopped, looking at her reels because they were so cool. And it just made me think, and I actually shared it with the mums who are building a personal brand in a year. I don't know if any of them looked at it, but I just thought it was such a cool account of a mum in business. And I think it was a really, I'll just tell you what I loved about it. You might have what they call a brick and mortar business, which is a physical business. She has a brick and mortar business because she sells wool. But obviously in Waipu, maybe there's not a lot of foot traffic all the time. So she's created her online presence and it has a side to her business that is shipping out these patterns and people can interact with her. I don't know if she's a community, I haven't found that yet, but she's created another side to her business so that it's sustainable because, maybe having a storefront is not always fully sustainable, but maybe that's part of her dream. Maybe she really wants a store so people can come in and have coffee with her. And I actually think it's quite a beautiful idea, but I won't be starting a store anytime soon, a live store. But you never know. In life, I might come up with something that I really want to do. And then I will have my personal brand on the side that I can leverage. Okay. So back to what we're saying, follow and engage with relevant accounts. So I need to now go take this account and I need to share it. I actually will tell you what it's called. I had written it down. I knew this was going to happen. It was called
The Joy Make Club. The_joy_make_club. Because someone out there probably wants to interact with this amazing woman. I think her name might be Joy, who has merino wool. So yeah, in Waipu, north of Auckland. So there we go. There's a little plug for our friend. Okay, number two.
So number one is Instagram and TikTok. Find mums in business, comment on their posts, and share their content on your stories. In Facebook, join groups that are in your niche. So for me, it's mums in business, and be active. Comment, support, add value before promoting yourself. And YouTube, comment on videos in your niche with thoughtful responses. So yeah, give them like what I suggested, like use your AI tool to come up with some thoughtful responses. I had something I want to share with you, and it's dropped off my notes. So let me just see if I can find it. I had some suggestions about what would make a great post. Now that I've been doing Mum with a Side Hustle for a little while, I've been thinking a lot about yeah, here we go. So just a little side note, if you're taking part in the Mum with a Side Hustle Facebook community, I would love for you to post about your business, okay? I know so many of you out there have amazing, unique businesses, and here is your opportunity to share. So you're all welcome to share. And this is what a great post would be. I think I've talked about this before. A great post that would get engagement on Mum with a Side Hustle would be introduce yourself, share clearly what your business is and why you started it, and then explain what your offer is. Okay, so it's a story post telling us your story, telling us what your business is, why you love it. Maybe put a picture up of something that is about your business. Okay, but here is what a bad post would be. So please don't put this on anyone's Facebook group. A bad post starts like this. I'm making all this money in 1 week and you should join me, private message me. That is a very bad post. Okay, let me tell you why. We don't know you and we don't trust you. You need to have, Jade is doing the laughing emoji. We don't know you. You're brand new to the group. You haven't added any value yet. I don't know you and no one else knows you and we don't trust you. So your post is going to tank. Um, so there we go. There's my little tip about value adding posts. Sorry. Pet peeve, actually. Okay, here's a discussion question. Have you ever connected with someone online who later became a real supporter, friend, or even a customer? I'd love to hear. Have you ever connected with someone online who later became a real supporter, friend, or even customer? Jade, you've been in this game for a little while now. You're probably trying to put your baby to sleep. Keep asking me questions.
No, I'm here. I'm here. I was just changing his bum, but he's all done. Yes, I have to answer your question.
Tell us
And
about that.
well, yeah. So, do you know one example right off the top of my head is probably Lucinda.
Yeah.
We became Facebook friends, and then I saw she was reading the same book that I was at the same time, and so I commented, and then we just got talking.
And that's kind of
I don't actually know how we originally became Facebook friends.
Well, that's kind of what happened
Like,
to you and I, though. Lucy introduced us, maybe,
yeah,
and then we
yeah.
then we did the live mum
Yeah, so
hustle
she
coffee
added
and
me
chat.
to
Yeah.
your group. Yeah.
Oh, you've been such a
Yeah.
lovely person to interact with. Oh, cool. Pam,
Yeah. So yeah, and I purposely did that because I wanted people locally as well.
yeah,
Just we can go grab a coffee and we've got kids and they can have play dates and just a lot more than uh like networking for business help and ideas and
yeah,
all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Friends, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's amazing, I think, the friendships I've grown that have been at a distance. I know when I was single until I was like 31, I think, or 33 when I got married. I can't remember now. It's just blurry. But I have so many friends all over the world who I just stayed in touch with because we lived together for a period of time. Then they moved back to whatever country. And we just stayed really, really good friends because we were online. Yeah, it's a powerful tool, but I agree. It's nice to have some friends in person. Pam, if you're listening and you have anything to say, you just let us know. Is there someone that you've connected with online, who later became a friend, a supporter or even a customer? Okay, so the key takeaway from this, sharing other people's content, but in a way that adds value, is when you show up, people notice. Small, consistent actions lead to big results over time. We're going to do this, guys. We're going to be consistent. I know it's adding more things for you to do and more things for you to think about, but you can do this. You can do this. You can build a brand. You can interact with people. You can do posts. You're going to do this and you're going to get somewhere with all the effort you're putting in. Oh, cool. Pam says, my friend with Benji, my friendship with Benji, sorry, it said Genji, started that way. Started online. Is that what you just said? I'll bring up the chat. Chat. Yes, your friendship with Benji started online. Mine didn't. I actually knew Benji from somewhere else, but then we reconnected online. Okay, number 3, why you must tell people what you offer and how to do it naturally. So one of the biggest mistakes I've made in business is not talking enough about what I actually offer. But that was largely because I didn't know how to do it. And there's also the matter of what we call money in the bank. So let me explain that. Money in the bank is the right you've earned to make people offers. You've got to earn the right, which is like building the trust, which is like making friends back at primary school and sharing your lunch. Okay. So if we're new at building a personal brand, we cannot lead with offers. We cannot lead with offers. We need to lead with value posts and interaction. We need to lead with getting out there so people can know us and that people can trust us. Okay. But if you've done that, and you can start early, you don't have to wait because part of this is just going to be a learning. So you might as well learn all the skills all at once. And I'm saying this from my experience of struggling to learn all the skills all at once. If you don't tell people what you do, they won't know. They'll just think, oh, this is a nice account to follow, and they'll follow you. And then they'll be like, oh, why are they sharing what they do all of a sudden? So please do talk about what you do. So I'm not talking about awkward posts that you copy and paste from your upline, okay, that only the skeptics reply to, because there's plenty of those out there. And I've even done them. I'll be honest with you. I've taken posts from other people. Not that that's a bad thing, but you do want to have enough social credit. That's a good word, social credit with other people. So I'm just saying, let's build relationship first. When you've made meaningful connections through your content, comments, shares, talking about your offer isn't going to feel salesy. It's going to feel natural. Okay, so here's an example. Today, I want to share something that I'm super passionate about. It's my mighty little patches. Okay, this business is an incredible example of how networking can be done right, and it can be life-changing. So this is not just a technology or a health benefit. It's a duplicatable system and a team that I'm part of that's helping people transform their lives. And I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't share it with you. So if you're curious and you want to know more, let's chat. There we go. There's an offer. It's right there. So I've got a question. What's one thing you offer that you know can truly help someone? Oh, patch, passionate. What did you say, Pam?
She's saying patch. Patch is on it. Passionate, but she's got the word patch in there. I can't even say it.
That's a really good idea. Passionate. Passionate. Is that how you say it? Passionate. I'm passionate about patches and about the business. Okay, tell me. I almost said it before. Okay. What's one thing you offer that you can truly help someone with? And if you haven't shared about it in a while, do you know why you think that is? Drop a comment if that's you. You've got something that you can help people with, something that you've got to offer, but you haven't shared it. So why have you not shared it? I've got a really good friend who's in our mum tribe. I don't know what to call us. Mum tribe? Do you guys like that? In our mum tribe. And she is sharing more about her makeup that she sells. And I love it because I want to know about it. I actually want to get some makeup very, very soon. So I will be there, Rita. Thank you for sharing about your makeup. Okay, so the key takeaway here is the more you build connections, the more opportunities you'll have to share your business in an organic way.
Cellular health.
I haven't shared because I need to get my wording right. Okay, maybe that's a goal. Work on your wording. Chat GPT, go back and forward, have a conversation. It's about confidence, eh? Like you need to kind of get that confidence up to be sharing about it because you know how much it's helped you and how much it's helped others. Yeah, okay, your offer around it, right? I get what you're saying, Jade. Okay, if you're wondering what I'm saying, I'm reading comments in the live Zoom and I'm just commenting back. So maybe I hope this is going to make sense for those who are watching later. Oh, I think there's a junior person trying to get in the room. Oh, look, it's my son. Okay, so here's a quick summary of the 3 points that I'm going to wrap up with today before closing this call. Where's your dad? I think
Can you go to him? No. Do you want to say hi to everyone? No. Of course you want to stay, but you need to go back to your dad. Oh, guys, this is a moment. Okay, give me a
second. I'm just going to give my son to my husband. Yeah, normally I'm in a room that has a lockable door, but we're renovating and I don't have that room right now. Okay, so here's a quick summary of the 3 key points before I wrap up our call today. Number one, networking is like making friends in primary school. I want you to remember this. It's small, consistent interactions that build strong connections. So engage with people, be present, and watch your audience grow naturally. I like this idea because I think it will stick with us better when we think about that we're just doing what we did when we started out our life. You know, when we first made friends, we had to learn how to do that. Okay, number two, intentional engagement makes a difference. So thoughtful comments, collaborations, supporting others will create real relationships and help your brand start out. So let's work on our commenting. Let's learn how to do it. Let's practice on each other's posts. If you see a post from someone else who is in Mum with a Side Hustle, why don't you friend them? If you see someone comment, why don't you make friends out of people who are in the Mum with a Side Hustle community? Why don't you make friends with people who are friends with me? And let's actually start interacting together. If you see someone commenting on my post, you can add them as a friend. They might accept you, and then you've made a new friend and you can start interacting. But for the Mum Tribe, let's work on commenting on each other's posts. And the third thing is you have to tell people what you have to offer because when you build trust and connection first, Sharing your business feels natural and not salesy. And people can't say yes if they don't know what you do.
Is the truth. Mic drop. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here today.
I'm going to remind you, like I do every week, that each of you have a superpower because of the season you're in. I know as a mum, you're facing so many limits, right? You don't have a lot of time. You've got to have some brain space for building a business. But when we face limits in life, these are actually invitations to transform into something even greater. Okay. Yes, we've got to figure out how to build our dreams while mothering, but I truly believe you're going to be a better mum when you follow those small ideas and passions that light you up. It doesn't have to be much, and sometimes we have to educate those in our world on how to support us and why our dream matters. But one day they will turn around, those people in our world, and they will see what we've become, and they will be inspired and blessed by who we are because we followed these passions. So, Mum, whatever you're facing, whether in your parenting or in your business or in your relationships, let's be women who see the challenge and rise. Before we go, take a moment to drop a comment or share a takeaway from today's call. What's one action you're going to take this week and to build your network and build engagement? And yeah, thank you so much for being here. I'm just going to give it 1 second on the chat to see if anyone has a takeaway.
Awesome. Pam says, I haven't shared yet because I'm still creating my product. Cool. Awesome, Pam. We can just be working on that money in the bank stuff, right? Social, what did I call it? Social equity? Social assets, something like that. I knew the word would go away. Yeah, but thank you so much, guys, for being here. It's been great to be with you. And look, we'll be here same time, same place next week. And thank you if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. Okay, bless you guys. Bye.